Tudor just updated smiley face black base, and it's more like a downgrade. No smiley face, no snowflake second hand. Decreased water resistant but increased price by 30%. So keep watching to see everything what changed. So I counted 10 things that changed. So we're gonna go over them one by one, but at the end I will gonna talk about why I feel that even the movement is more kind of like a downgrade. Number one, no smiley face. So we expected it, we knew about it, but we still not, like, you are not happy about it, I'm not happy about it. Like, why would you do it, Tudor? Number two, and the biggest thing that makes me so angry, and it's probably gonna make everybody angry who notices, Tudor removed a snowflake second hand. Why, Tudor? Why? You should have changed your hour indices to be rectangular hour indices, to be more kind of like an old snowflake Tudor dial. But instead of doing that, what you did is you removed a snowflake second hand. Now you have only one big snowflake hour hand. And like, what is this dial? This makes no sense. So now, because I own a previous to BB 3036, now every time I will be looking at my Tudor, I will be immediately looking at that second hand, and it's like, whoa, yeah, still a snowflake second hand, and you don't have that because you bought a new Tudor and your Tudor sucks. Okay, maybe it doesn't suck. Another big thing is that they removed that famous big crown plus crown tube. So I know a lot of people complained about that crown tube, but for me, like that crown tube and that big crown, like that, for me, that was a Black Bay. That was one of the few things that actually define that brand Black Bay, like what Black Bay is for you, and things like that. Big crown and crown tube, that was Black Bay for me. Now they removed it, and now they have like normal size and normal, just a generic crown like any other watch has. And we are moving from that to number 4, because it could be connected, because maybe the change in crown is the reason why they decreased water resistance of Black Bays, because this makes no sense. Like, it was 150 meters and now it's only 100 meters. That's like, why? Like, what changed? Like, new movement and new dial, that doesn't decrease water resistance. But both the old and the new crowns are screw down crowns. Would I swim with 100 meters water resistant watch? Yes, but I wouldn't feel as good as I would swim with the previous BB36 that I still own with 150 meter water resist. Number 5. So we are starting with things that are actually good. They introduced the gilt dial. This is something that they probably should have done on a day 1, but so unfortunately that gilt dial a little bit clashes with like vintage inspired gilt dial, a little bit clashes with the modern watch and the modern bracelet. Like, that watch will look sick on a distressed leather strap, or just like any like vintage strap. And unfortunately, because they introduced that gilt dial, they totally removed this old black and white dial that I have, and that one was a little less vintage inspiring, but that one was a perfect modern watch. That black and white and modern bracelet and modern case, that was a perfect looking modern watch. Now they, like with this gilt dial, slightly bit confused, but again, like they have a lot of ways how they can improve it in the future. For example, put that watch on a bone clip bracelet. It will look amazing, right? Maybe just this like modern bracelet, it clashes too much. It's still great. It's still great. If you buy it, just put it on a proper strap. Number 6. So now oyster bracelet is replaced with jubilee. Both are good. I slightly prefer oyster more, but you make your own call. A very good thing is number 7. So the previous clasp that I have here, it was a really good clasp. I love it. I love how this bracelet opens, how it closes, these ceramic balls. It's amazing. They actually made this clasp even better. They introduced this T whatever, T something micro adjustment, which is great. I actually like it. That's the right change. The old one was great, but it seems like the new one will be even better. Also, they added additional 39 millimeter size, so now they come in 31, 36, 39, and 41. I told you don't get 41. 41 is all like screwed up. 32 is still actually surprisingly really good watch. It wears kind of like 34 millimeter vintage watch. I like 34 millimeter vintage watches. But again, why? Like 36 is already perfect. Why that 32 exists? And now they created 39. So again, like why 39 exists? I don't know, but maybe it's gonna be useful for somebody. Number 9, big price increase. 30%. 30% price increase. So it sucks to be you if you don't have Black Bay and you want to buy it. Now I think for us who already own something like BB36 that I love, it probably would mean that prices of used watches will go higher, because the price of the modern watch increased 30%. So I would expect the price of my watch to go higher, especially because my watch is much better than that downgrade that they just released. Okay, now let's talk about the movement. That's actually the third time Tudor is changing manufacture of the movement. So first, Tudor's movements were made by ETA. After they switched my BB36 to Sellita, and now they switched it to Kinesi. The fact that they are switching manufacture of the movement does not make the movement in-house. ETA is not in-house, Sellita is not in-house, the same thing, Kinesi is not in-house, Kinesi is not in Tudor's house. Kinesi is making Breitling movements, Chanel movements, like all kinds of movements, and that's not Tudor making their own movements. But do I care? I don't. Just like don't call it in-house. So the fact that it's made by Kinesi means that now you will not be able to service your Tudor by independent watchmaker. You would need to send it to Tudor. You will pay a little bit more. Unfortunately, that's not all, because Tudor does not really service their movements. So they receive watches that come from customers for service, and they swap the movement with a new movement. So it's possible that, like you had ETA, you will be replaced with the downgrade Sellita. You can actually see my movement why I think Sellita is a small downgrade. Or maybe you will even get a Kinesi movement. Or maybe you had chronometer certified Kinesi movement with papers with that serial number that's chronometer certified, and after they're gonna slap a new Kinesi movement, and now your serial numbers will not match your number in a chronometer. So that's not how you're supposed to service your movements, but that's what Tudor does. And because they moved to Kinesi movements, now you will have no choice. So this is one. Second thing, yes, so the good thing is that these Kinesi movements are chronometer certified. They are not better movements than the previous Sellita or ETA. Those Sellita and ETA, they also high-end movements, and Sellita actually is selling chronometer certified movements. So what Tudor should have done, Tudor should have just certified this, should have done chronometer certification for their Sellita movements. There was no reason to change it for a different movement. The Sellita was already good enough, and that's definitely much more reliable than that unproven Kinesi movement. But what they did is just because they changed the manufacturer and now they need to somehow justify the 30% increased price. So they didn't have chronometer certified for Selita, but now they certify the Kinesi movements to kind of make it look like it's a better movement, but it's not. Okay, the other thing what I want to talk a little bit, the larger power reserve. So most people don't understand that for automatic movement, big power reserve is actually a negative thing. That is not a positive thing. You need power reserve in automatic movement large enough so your watch would just survive the night, right? You don't wear it during night, so you want the power reserve to be long enough so you wake up and your watch is still running. That's it. You don't need more. Now, if you have more, that's actually very, very negative. Even that previous 40-hour power reserve was actually pretty bad. So let's do some math, right? So let's say you have 10 watches, right? And you wear each of your watches two days at a time, right? So you wore your BB36 for 2 days, that's 48 hours. Now you put it in a box and you start wearing a different watch. What's going to happen to that BB36 in the box if it has 40 hours power reserve, right? It's gonna idle unnecessary in the box for additional 40 hours. So it means you used your watch for 48 hours and it idled additional 40 hours like unnecessary. You don't need that, right? So you just doubled the wear of your watch unnecessary, like you don't need it. So your watch, for some reason, even with 40-hour power reserve, your watch increased the wear of components almost by 100%. Now, what they did? Now it's not 40 hours. Now it's 70 hours. So now for every useful hour that the watch will spend on your wrist, it will be even more idling, even more wear of your unnecessary wear of your movement. Why? You should have decreased the power reserve. Why are you increasing the power reserve? It's dumb. Okay, is the new Tudor a good watch? Probably, yeah, I like it. I like it, but let me summarize this video with the words of Michael from Theo and Harris.
The Black Bay 36 has always been a watch where I was like, don't touch that one. I think that one's perfect. So it got modified, it got changed, but I wish they kept with the old one because the old one was fantastic.